you don't know which way to go, the answer is Jesus and Elevation Radio.
Oh, yeah. Come on. God bless you. God bless you. This is Elevation Radio 1, and I'm your host, Pastor Steve, the Music Man Turner. And I thank you for taking the journey with us. This is the program that spotlights positive people doing positive work while serving a positive God whose name is Jesus. And if you don't like that, you need to turn the dial, because that's all we're about. That's all it's all about now, baby. All right. Now, listen, our subject matter today is sit out to sit in. Let me say it again, because some of y'all scratching your head. Sit out to sit in. And the question is this the birth of digital protesting? Digital protesting. Yes, we're going elevation now. The executive director, Cheryl Crockett, will enlighten us on her new social media movement entitled Sit Out to Sit In. It is a growing media phenomenon that promotes the social agenda while maintaining CDC medical guidelines. This innovative champion against police brutality, murder, and racism will share with us her vision and goals for the future. I guarantee you won't ever forget it. And now, before we enter into our phase of live interviewing with the great Cheryl Crockett, we're going to go to the most beautiful part of this program, and that is none other than, my goodness, the Queen. All hail the Queen. Matter of fact, that is my lovely wife,
yes,
Lady Leora Turner. Give us a scripture, please.
Thank you. Yes, I'll be coming from Ephesians chapter 2, verse 5 and 6. Even when we were dead in sin, has quickened us together with Christ. By grace ye are saved, and has raised us up together and made us sit together in heavenly places in Christ Jesus.
Thank you, baby. And that's what you want, to sit together in heavenly places. We're trying to get folks to sit together on earth, but it may be hard for some people because of their racism, because of their issues. But one day we all have to sit together in heavenly places if you can do right. And so, speaking of do right, let's talk now to the effervescent, the incomparable, and that is Professor Cheryl Crockett. Who is Cheryl Crockett?
Hi there. Thank you so much for this time together. First of all, I appreciate the title, Professor, when you assign it to me. I'm just Cheryl Crockett, and please call me Cheryl. I am a woman. I'm a Christian woman. I am a woman with a mixed race heritage, raised in the black community, told to check that box that says, and I saw the things happening around me as a child, the things like marches and Martin Luther King speaking, and later on I saw things happening to my brother and to black men and even some black women, and I was concerned about it. I am a person who was raised with a technical education and a passion for the arts. I am a musician and poet, writer and singer, and those are things I enjoy doing. And most recently, I transitioned because of COVID-19 from being an Uber and Lyft driver to being a COVID-19 contact tracer with the city of Baltimore. And I'm enjoying helping my community as we go through this pandemic together.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that is enough.
My God, I tell you, I hope to ring a bell. It's a lot. That's a winner. You've got a lot of talent, a lot of skills, a lot of gifts, and that's pretty impressive. The phone lines are lighting up. I was going to say, if you want to say something to the great Cheryl Crockett and talk about the Sit Out to Sit In movement, or want to join the Sit Out to Sit In movement, to call it 1-914-205-5353. I repeat, 1-914-205-5353. The lines are already lit up. I don't know if I have any more room on my digital board. Once I say the word Cheryl Crockett, things happen. It's incredible. And so I want to ask you what in the world is the sit out to sit in movement? What is that about?
Well, when our parents and grandparents did sit-ins in the 50s and 60s to protest racism, it was because businesses would not serve them. And that resonated with me after the death of George Floyd and the revelation of other deaths before and since. And I said, how do I find a hashtag that's unique? Because many people were using the phrase sit out. And I said, there's no need to go into a business and sit and protest. It's also not safe to go in anywhere with a whole bunch of other people. And I said, well, how can we safely take a stand for social justice and also respect the fact that we want to keep our health and the health of those around us protected? And so I said, well, we've got to do this virtually. Protests on their own blocks, in their own neighborhoods, outdoors, keeping social distance, only being close to the people that share the household with them. But you can talk amongst yourselves. You can hold up artifacts, take that picture and go right back inside. You could even sing a song. You could say, "We shall overcome," and record that for social media.
Watch yourself now. Don't give me another line of that. Can't start that. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Well, oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. I tell you, you can't keep singing songs like this now, Professor Crocker, because make the preacher come out and some folk. we might make some good trouble. Yes, and so speaking of good trouble, I have to get to the lines here because there are so many folks waiting. You're live on Elevation Radio 1, caller 9633. You're live on Elevation Radio 1, 443, ending in 9633. Okay, got a call back.
Possible they are just listening.
Okay, well, if you're going to listen, just don't call. God bless you. Now you're live on Elevation Radio 1. How can we help you? You're live.
Hello?
You're live. Please talk.
Yeah? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Please.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes.
Oh, this is Michelle McKenzie calling from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Was involved in the SitOut2SitIn project.
Oh, okay.
It was quite an honor to participate in the SitOut2SitIn, only because so many people were stuck in the house, were isolated, and this was the way to actually be a part of protesting, especially during the time when it was so active in the nation. So I want to thank Cheryl for initiating that and getting it going, and hopefully we can continue, especially with folks that are in nursing homes. This protest has to continue in a unique way, and I think SitOut2SitIn is the way to do that.
Well, we thank you, and Cheryl, do you have anything to say to this young lady?
Oh, thank you so much, Michelle. Michelle is my first cousin, and so she brought not only her support from Albuquerque, New Mexico, she brought the family support. I had support from high school friends. I had support from neighbors. I had support from strangers.
Oh,
and and Michelle actually brought other people along with her, and she raised 2 points that were so important that I want to highlight. First of all, the safe way to protest. People in nursing homes are at high risk of communicable disease, especially COVID-19. And we had a woman in Washington State who participated, and she went to the nursing home and helped people prepare their protest because they wanted to participate. And one person made her sign with a broken arm. She had a broken arm and created a sign so she could participate in Sit Out to Sit In, and put that in the
That's heavy.
in her window. And because of COVID-19, the woman who was helping her couldn't go in to the place, so she came by and took a picture of the sign. It's up on our social media. Sit Out to Sit In. We use 2 versions of the hashtag. SIT for sit, OUT, and then the numeral 2, SITIN. And we interchange the word TO for the numeral 2 in our other hashtags. So you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
All right. Thank you for calling in from New Mexico. God bless you.
Bless you, too. Thank you.
All right, now. Let's go to the other calls. We have so many. My goodness, Cheryl, you're creating a phenomenon here. Let's see here. All righty. Welcome to Elevation Radio 1. How can we help you?
Hey, Pastor Steve. This is Tawanda. How are you?
Oh, my goodness. It is the Warrior Queen, the pride of Baltimore. Tawanda Jones. I mean, you say protest and you say police brutality. You cannot say that here without including this young lady here. Are you familiar with her, Cheryl Crockett?
Tawanda, what's your last name? Have we met?
Jones. I'm not sure, but I've been protesting here in Baltimore for 376 weeks for my brother Tyrone West, and not just him, but all the victims of police brutality. Like, in the city and around the world, because it's a worldwide problem. So, yep.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, yeah. She's,
Thank you.
Maybe the two of y'all can actually connect and get together because you've got the same thing in mind. And that's another reason why I asked you to call in. And that's important. She's out on West Wednesdays, rain or shine. My goodness, it's just been her commitment to the honoring of the memory of her brother who was killed at the hands of police is unprecedented. I call her the thorn in the police department side. And
I want to be a thorn in the police department's side as well, and overturn their policy, which I found out the hard way, that they have a policy to ask people who call 911 for help what their race is.
So I guess if you're black or brown, or maybe the response is slower, you can kind of fend for yourself.
I wouldn't know. I do know that the phone call in question happened at the beginning of the pandemic, so policies were changing in order to protect the public and the officers. And my issue concerned vandalism on my property, and I called 911 to let them know that something on my property had been damaged, and it looked like vandalism. And basically, they told me that a police officer would respond by phone. And when that police officer called me during the conversation, I explained to him what had happened, and it sounded like a patronizing tone, and it sounded like I was talking with someone who might be white, because you can't tell for sure on the phone. And he asked me my race, and I was done.
That wasn't a part of, hold a second. That wasn't part of the training that I ever had when I did it.
And you are a former police officer.